Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is Soldier of Light reporting for duty, and I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and thank you for the support that you guys always give me. As I mentioned, always in my videos, and every time I start live, I wouldn't be here without you guys. So I definitely want to say thank you, and thank you to all the warriors in the chat who monitor it and kind of watch out for all the trolls and anything like that. So just want to say thank you guys. Hopefully, if if you get a chance, check out my video that I posted today, just to kind of see what to expect for the next 2 weeks or so when it comes to not only just here, just around the world. I feel things are going to start to change. I feel like there's going to see some change with the financial system, a lot more as we move along. And I also feel like there's going to be some progress when it comes to this Mr. T situation that's been kind of brewing for some time now. So uh, if you guys also, I just want to say right now, if you notice in the news, there's a lot of distraction. Everywhere you look is a distraction. Everything. Um, if you look at all the things that have been coming out recently, the Biden corruption and China ties, and also all the stuff that goes on with as the banking system is starting to go down and crash and fail. The Federal Reserve has already crashed. People just don't know it yet, and also all the ties that are going on. Just a lot of things that are going on, and I feel like that's why we've had all these distractions lately. A lot of them. It's they tried the train derailments and the chemical poisoning, and try everything they can possibly just unleash. They're trying. That's because people who do that, they're very scared. They're running for their lives, and they're try to figure out a way to get out of this, to distract the people, because that's how they've always done it. They've always distracted us. Keep them busy on their hamster wheel so they don't pay attention to what we're doing. But that's over now because we have eyes everywhere, including the eyes from up top, the God, the divine. So you're never going to escape this. If you're a dark, evil person that's been doing dark things to people, if you're a scumbag banker, a scumbag politician, because you all are, all these people who've been doing this to humanity, knowingly or unknowingly, and going along with it by just, maybe they didn't understand. But either way, you're still going to be held accountable. Same thing with all the stuff you're seeing going on with the vid that happened in 2020 that came in, and all the pokies. So the pokies that you're getting, that's all all the stuff is distraction. It's all distraction. So because what I honestly want to say before I get reading real quick, think about the amount of resources that have to go into keeping a lie going, even a small lie. If you think about a small lie, just a simple one, the sky is green, let's say, make it something simple. And it's blue or whatever you want to think it is, because we've been told that's what the color is called, and it may not even be that. But my point is that we've always been, okay, this looks blue to me. This is what I associate blue with. This looks blue. But they're saying, no, it's not blue. It's green. It's really green. Or it's red, whatever color they want to use. And they work that. They keep saying it over and over until people start to believe it. And then what they do, think about the amount of resources they have to put into that to keep that stupid lie going. Instead of just telling the truth like you're supposed to, and being, having integrity in your soul like God, the Creator, meant you to have, you have no moral compass. You're just continuing to go with a lie. You have to cover a lie with another lie. I mean, the dark you have to be exhausted. You have to be. There's no other way around it. These people they're going to run out of steam too. Once you pull that power, when you pull the money from them, they're nothing. They're nothing. They have zero. That's the only thing that they have going for them is the money that the make-believe monopoly money that they can print, whatever. It doesn't mean anything. And I feel like that's what people have controlled their whole lives over, is a stupid piece of paper that says this is worth something because I say it's worth something. That's literally what people have killed themselves for. Our government has sent people into foreign countries to take the drugs, take the guns, traffic people, traffic children. I mean, our government is the most corrupt. I mean, if they're not the most, it's pretty close to being the top. We're the opposite of what people think that America is. Even our flag isn't even the right flag. Literally, the flag that we've always pledged allegiance to, it's a wartime flag. Why do you think they make you stand up and say, I pledge allegiance to the flag? It's a wartime flag. And the red, white, and blue is not what you think it is when it comes to what they say the colors mean. Nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with what they say it is. I guarantee it. Look at how many countries are owned or have red, white, and blue colors. You think that's a coincidence? No, it's not. So, just so you know, example, we have a peacetime flag. And if you think that Old Glory, what they call Old Glory, they're with the red, white, and blue, with the blue background, white stars, red and white stripes, right? That's the wartime flag. So people who understand, you fly that outside of your house during a martial law, a military can step into your house and take it over because that's a wartime flag, and your home will become a military post. Your car, the same thing. You have a sticker, even a bumper sticker with a flag on it. Becomes property. They can utilize it because it's under wartime. Do you want to consistently be at war? That's what they want us to be. That's why people fly in the wrong flag. The peacetime flag, the stripes don't even go horizontally. They go vertically, and they're red and white. And so the peacetime flag is a white background with blue stars. That's the peacetime flag. Look it up. Fly that, because that says you are not in a state of war. You're in a state of peace. You want peace. You want harmony. People it's pledging something to which is dark. The red, white, and blue, what we pledge to, is a wartime flag. That means we want to go to other countries and take over things. That's the wrong way. I'm telling you. And I'm ex-military as well. I'm retired military. So even the military, even when you swear, like I swear to uphold, the Constitution, but it's the Constitution of the United States, not United States of America. So that's the difference in the pledge has changed. It's not United States of America. It's United States, which is a foreign entity, foreign country in Washington, D.C. And all of us, or not all, I'm not anymore. I've been pulled out of that system, but people are citizens. You have no rights as a citizen. You are property of the corporation. You are a fictitious entity that's dead at sea. I know I've covered this a little bit, but the more I say this, I want people to start to realize that's why you have no rights. Why do you think people, Congress and Senate and all these people haven't done their jobs or anything to even benefit us? Because their job is to not benefit us. Their job is to protect the corporation. And like I mentioned, every single one of these people who've been in office since at least 1933, when our government was literally broken up, because the South left. The delegates from the South, they left the Congress. They left that and says, you know what, we're not agreeing with this. So they left. And that when they left, things should have been dissolved, but they didn't. So they started putting executive orders in, and then they put it under military wartime. And so it gives you EO power. So everything that's gone on since then has been fraudulent. Every single one of these people has been fraud. Every one of them, even people you love. Fraud, because that government shouldn't have even existed. They keep just rebranding it. They keep redoing this bankruptcy, making things up and making people more sick to their stomachs. And our grandkids and all this, they're going to have to pay for all this debt. Let me tell you, the only debt that is ever owed is the United States corporation. That's their debt. It's not ours. It's not the man and woman that are here in God. That's the corporations. That's the United States. So if you dissolve the United States corporation, guess what? All that debt goes with it. It goes back to the Federal Reserve where it's made up anyway. That's my point is this stuff is all meant to keep you in a hamster wheel, keep you down, keep you sick, keep you in doubt, keep you working like a slave. A slave. We're all slaves. We're all slaves. Well, most of all, you're designed to be a slave. Let's put it that way. Some of us are getting out. Take your sovereignty back. Get out of the system. That's what you need to do. You need to start taking your rights back. Start taking your standing back. Even the word understand. Do you understand? It means you're standing under someone. That's why the police ask you that all the time. That's why the judge asks you, do you understand? That means, do you stand under me? This is little things like this, play on words, man. It's literally, it's twisted. It's twisted. But I just want to call that to you guys as just to be, all the stuff that you're seeing play out needs to play out. It needs to crash. It needs to burn. Babylon is America. That's the true story. The Statue of Liberty isn't old glory and liberty and all. No, that's the whore of Babylon. And actually, it's Lucifer. If you look at pictures of Lucifer, what they portray him as. So I'm telling you, nothing as it seems. Nothing in our existence in this reality. We have to change that. We have to change that. So people are like, why isn't the federal? Why aren't the Supreme Court? Why aren't the judges doing their job? That's because we don't have law enforcement. We have policy enforcers. We have policy enforcers. That's what they even says it on the side of their cars. I mentioned policy, police policy. They enforce statutes, regulations, all that stuff. Judges. We haven't had an actual judge since the 1700s. For some of you people who may not know that, we have administrators who are in charge of banks. Courts are banks. They swear allegiance to the bar, which is owned by the crown. So just so you know, that's the first thing they have to do. So everything that they're doing was for the crown. It wasn't for the United States. We were just a name, a territory that was owned by the crown. Even to this day, or it was until this situation is playing out. But just saying, things have been really twisted, man. So it's their day. It's their time. So you see in all these false flag things that are flopping up everywhere, derailments, fires of all these places, just name it. Now it's Trump. It's the distract. It's pull your eyes over here. That's what magicians do. Look over here. And right here, they're in their hands in the cookie jar the whole time. So their hands in the cookie jar. I just spilled my drink. So, but the good news is we understand this stuff now. We know. So we know what's going on. I'm going to have to, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to be right back. I got to get a towel. I just spilled my water for the whole show. Let's spill my water. No. Sure isn't. Not good at all. Yeah. See what happens? Start talking about the dark and my water spills. So, but that's why I want you guys to realize that's how powerful you are. Think about how much money has been spent to brainwash you. Literally. They've had to spend an unlimited amount of money to brainwash you, to keep you from understanding your true power. That's a true story. All right. Just made a beautiful mess on my carpet. All right, I think this will be about, so get started here with the readings. Making a mess all over my carpet. Well, at least it was water. So half my pant leg is destroyed now. So let's see. All right, let me go ahead and get started with the readings. My wet sock now. All right, I'm gonna jump off my soapbox. I'm gonna stop no more super chats. I don't even know how many there are right now, but I know I see a few. So I just want you to know that. That was the most important message before we even get started, is the fact that they have to work overtime to keep their lie going. It's very exhausting. It has to be. And not only that, the fact that I said they have to spend an unlimited amount of resources to keep you brainwashed and keep you from knowing your power, that's a big deal. That's how strong it is. That's how strong your willpower and your power is. It's that magical. So I want you to take your power and you're standing back. We can't let these people continue to just do what they want and when they want. So living in fear is can't be an option anymore. Can't be. We have to hold these criminals accountable. Like Q says, they won't be able to walk down the street, which is true. Because once this all comes to light, even the normies who are sleeping right now, when they wake up one day and all their money is gone and they can't get into their accounts, that's when they're going to have a huge eye opener. When the government's going to turn and say, sorry, can't help you, that's when you'll see people get upset. You have to mess with their money. That's the precipice, I feel. That's a big part of it. And the World War. People have seen world wars before. I don't think that's the precipice. I think the precipice is when people have no resources, or the cyber attack that I feel will come. They've been prepping us for that for a long time. I feel that'll be an easy push of a button and all ledgers will be erased. That's what I feel. I feel that they'll blame it on the R, the country with the R. And it's run by the guy whose last name starts with a P, who can doing his job, getting rid of the deep state. So I feel like that will be a springboard to that. And I feel that's what will cause it. I think that will cause a disruption, because I feel if they zero out ledgers, every bank, everywhere, just zero it out, gone. Then they have no way of knowing what's going where, whose money is whose, how much money was originally in there, all that stuff. I'm telling you, that's a quick way to pull it down fast. And then what that does is when there's transactions that are lost and banks don't know what's going on, you can't conduct business at that point. So I don't know why I feel like this is the way it's going to go, but I feel very strongly that's kind of the way. I haven't pulled cards on it, but I feel very strongly that's kind of how it's going to go. It's prepping people. What you're going to see, bank runs are going to start it, but there is going to be an attack on the computer that I feel is the easiest way to just wipe it all out in one swipe. So let's go ahead and get started once again with some readings. All right, Cindy, love and light to you tonight. Does Gary have any messages for me? Let's find out. Well, Cindy, I have the Four of Swords, so he tells me he's resting right now. It also tells me like this is a new phase, renewal phase. You're going to go through a renewal phase as well. He's telling me maybe you've kind of been a little more quiet, I guess, maybe going inside a little bit more. He's telling me you've been a little more quiet at times. I have the Justice card. So it tells me like what the situation that you've had with him. He tells me that things worked out the way they were supposed to for him. But he also tells me that things are going to work out for you. So if there's something you've been contemplating or waiting for, it tells me it's going to play out for you. It also tells me that this is he's telling me you're going to have clarity in the situation. Okay. He also tells me with the Eight of Pentacles, like you're working, something's in progress. He's saying that you're starting to learn about yourself and learn a lot about a lot of things. He's telling me that this was part of his mastery, his skill that he had to move on. But it also tells me you're doing that too. He says that he's watching over. He tells me that this is something that you are you're learning. You keep. He tells me that there's something like a routine of yours that you've been changing or been doing. He tells me that that's something that's good. He's telling me he's acknowledging that, because the Lover's card tells me next that he's with you all the time. Also tells me like you're connected. And with Gary, I feel like strength. He says, I bring her strength. I bring her strength. And he tells me like when you're having a difficulty with making decision or you have conflicts going on, he says, I'm there to help. I'm there to help all the time. He also tells me with the Knight of Swords next is that comes back to maybe mental thoughts. And taking decisive action, he was saying, and defending your beliefs. He's saying, continue to move forward. He's saying, stand your ground, stand firm with what you believe. And I have the Chariot card, so he tells me like this is something like your things are going to change for you. You may actually be moving in your future. I feel, and I feel like this is something too that you're departing of the old. So he's telling me that you're going to be moving on to something different. He also tells me that it was time he had to move on. That's what this Chariot is telling me. It's departing. So a change is coming. This tells me it was inevitable to happen. And it tells me things are going to start to pick up speed for you in the future. The Seven of Wands. He tells me that he wants you to remain strong and persistent. But he also tells me like you need to you're a little defensive at times. You've put up that wall at times. He says he wants you to kind of go through and let go of it, because the Seven of Pentacles tells me that you're going to be very successful long term. So he tells me like this is something that you're working on yourself. I keep getting working. It's a work in progress. Keep putting in the time. Keep working on yourself. Keep growing. He's telling me, because the seeds have been well planted. The Seven of Cups, so tells me there's a lot of thoughts, a lot of choices you're going to be making. He says that you're finding out a lot of things maybe aren't what you thought they were. But the Wheel of Fortune, so it tells me this is a good turning point for you. It tells me it's inevitable. It tells me that this is something this is a good omen. It tells me a change in direction. So I feel once again a trip in your future, moving along in your journey, maybe a move in your future once again. Tells me like this is something that's going to be working out for the betterment, because I have the Nine of Swords. So it tells me that you worry. There's a lot of worry with the Nine of Swords holding in my reading. He says there's a lot of worry, anxiety, sleepless nights at times, maybe even some nightmares. He's saying that he comes to you as well. He helps you. So he says he wants you to remain strong, let go of the doubts and the fears. And he tells me that he's with you. He brings you strength, and all will be well. So I hope that resonated with you, Cindy, and thank you for the super chat. Hi, Jason. Can I get a general reading for the month of June? Sure can. I got an Ace of Wands. So it tells me, man, my hip is hurting. Tells me with the Ace of Wands, a desire of yours. It tells me a new opportunity is coming. And I feel like maybe a new project. I don't know if you've been thinking about a project, but it tells me maybe something is going to start to come to fruition for you. Growth. I have the Page of Wands. So a new idea, discovering. So it tells me something, a new idea, discovering. There's going to be some type of discovery you're going to find and with the Page of Wands. Also tells me, though, that you're going to be excited. Okay, whatever this is, like I said, inspired, excitement. I have the Four of Wands. So it tells me that there's going to be some type of homecoming or some type of celebration. And I feel like it's going to be beautiful. Okay. So I see joy. I see a homecoming. So I don't know if there's something in your future where like you are contemplating maybe getting together with some family. Because I have the Hierophant. So maybe that's what it is. So I also feel possibly for June. It tells me with that you're very traditional. So I feel like maybe this is family, maybe something to do with that. Maybe it's a tradition of yours. I don't know if this is something that you guys are going to make a tradition of moving forward. I feel like some type of get together. I have the Ten of Pentacles, so it tells me financial, tells me that this is family, something family oriented, something is going to come to completion. It tells me legacy, tells me fulfillment, tells me abundance is coming and success. But I have the Two of Swords, so it tells me maybe some decisions that have been stalemated or been waiting for is kind of what I'm getting. But the Empress card comes out, so it tells me nurturing, abundance, tells me the fruits of your labor. Also tells me, like I said, very motherly or some type of energy like that, like a nurturing family type of energy. And I feel like this is good. This is good, a good omen for you. And then I have the King of Pentacles. So yeah, finances. I feel in June will it's like some type of investment possibly that you've made in your past will come start to work for the betterment of yourself with that King of Pentacles. Tells me that you're also very generous. That's what I feel is a plan of yours. Maybe is to share if you do make some a good money with some investment. I feel like this is something that you're very good. You're very charitable. Is what they're telling me because I have the Chariot holding up my reading, so it tells me a change, victory. Also tells me a trip. I keep seeing a trip for you possibly in June. So if you haven't planned one yet, I feel like this is something that you will do pretty soon, and I feel like maybe that will become a routine of yours moving forward some way. So hope that resonated with you, Muse, and thank you for the super chat. Any messages from my dad as I feel him around me every day? Let's find out. Man, this stupid. This thing will not stay lit. All right, Sharon. Well, I got the Nine of Fire or the Nine of Wands. So it tells me, like, don't give up. Tells me, like, I feel maybe at times that you feel like giving up or what's the use. He's telling me also that to have courage. Tells me that you've had tests of faith. This is something that is really you've been tested many times. But also tells me that you have great courage, as I mentioned with before. Then I have the Strength card. Once again, that's telling your dad's telling me to love yourself, be open. He loves you also. He's telling me that you're very strong. You have great inner strength. I keep getting that for you. So he says you're strong. Release the harsh thoughts, harsh feelings. He's telling me, harsh judgments. Then I have the Unity card. So it tells me like maybe the way you think about things is going to change. Like traditional ways that you of viewing things, I feel things are going to kind of move in or moving in a different direction from you. That tells me maybe whatever you thought that you knew or you understood, you're finding out maybe isn't the case. But it tells me that you're going to be focused. Okay, you're around like-minded people, and I feel like community, unity. So it tells me this is a good thing for you. I have the Three of Fire, so it tells me abundance is coming. Okay, it tells me also this is part of your expansion and making progress. It tells me financially you're going to be okay. Also tells me to start making plans for your future, long-term plans. I have the Page of Earth or the Page of Pentacles, so it tells me that you're manifesting something. It also tells me something tangible is coming to you. Tells me maybe something you've been manifesting, could be a more finances, could be a new home, a new job, whatever this is. I feel that you've been manifesting. He's telling me that you're making it happen. He's telling me that this is he wants you to do something more challenging. I feel like, or maybe that's what you're moving into. A new phase in your life is going to be a little more challenging for you, and not saying like challenging in a bad way. It challenges you in a good way. I have the five of earth or five of pentacles. So that tells me there's some fears or some loss, possibly maybe ill health at times. Maybe you don't feel well because of this. And I feel like maybe there's some uncertainty of some of these things, is what I'm kind of getting. I have the page of fire. So, or the page of wands. So it tells me freedom, excitement, a new opportunity, limitless potential. So he's telling me that you are the master of your own destiny. He's telling me that you can manifest and you can be inspired like when you were young. You wanted to get it done. He says you got it done. If you were just that motivated to get something accomplished, he says that's what he wants you to do. And he says when you were challenged is when you would overcome these the best. So he's telling me to tell you to find something a little more challenging, and it'll challenge you in a good way. And I have the Queen of Water. So it tells me nurture yourself. He says you don't do enough of that. You don't do enough. He tells me that there's some healing process going on. Comfort. He says he brings you comfort. And he says he loves you. That's what I'm getting. And I have the Knight of Water, the Knight of Cups. So he tells me, like, follow your heart. He's telling me he wants you to follow your heart. And he says that that's a big thing, that I feel at times that you don't follow through the things that you really feel in your heart. He says that's why you kind of feel stuck at times. You feel disconnected. Then I have the King of Pentacles or the King of Earth. So he tells me that you're going to be okay financially. He also tells me that you're investing in yourself. He wants you to invest in yourself. That tells me take more time, nurture yourself, heal yourself, whatever this is that you have to do. He says he wants you to start doing that. Be practical about the things that you are doing, which means just like you did, you had an idea, you put it into practice when you were younger. He says, and you were very successful, even if it was challenging. He wants you to continue to do that. He says because this is going to be beautiful opportunities are coming for you. As I mentioned, something in your future is coming that I feel is going to be a little more challenging for you in a good way. But I feel like it's going to be very successful for you financially, as for a lot of ways. So I got the 10 of Swords or the 10 of Air holding up my reading. So it tells me something is coming to an end. So it tells me maybe you felt betrayed or just the why, the fears, the loss, maybe like defeated at times is what I'm kind of getting. He's telling me that's all coming to an end. We're completing this. Okay. He tells me after this, moving forward with clarity. So he says that get out of your head. He says she needs to get out of her head because she's slowing herself down. She has limitless potential, whatever she wants to accomplish. She just needs to put it into action. So hope that resonated with you, Sharon, and thank you for the super chat. Why am I getting freaked when spirit comes around? The energy is stronger than before, and I was always okay with connecting to spirit. Dude, this incense stick does not want to stay lit. This has been, I don't know why. Killing me, Petey. All right, so Carol, let's find out. Ah, not in a bad way, the ego card. Okay. So just so you know, the ego card in this deck is usually it's the devil card in the fifth with the 15. So, but it tells me maybe false sense of entrapment. Maybe the energy is around you because your energy is growing. So it tells me that you're going to attract the light, and you're going to attract other stragglers that are around because your energy is growing. So it tells me like um, maybe negative thoughts. I keep getting negative thoughts, self-imposed. They're telling me, and the Lovers card comes out. So it tells me that you're okay. You're weighing decisions. That's what it's telling me. So the things that you're kind of doing, you're weighing them, or you're really kind of thinking about it too much. You're saying. So it tells me like it's you're up in here too much. That's what they're telling me because you're very well protected. So it says that there's some good, and I have the King of Cups or the King of Waters. So it's open your mind and your heart to being protected. Okay, so it tells me is don't be afraid. You are protected, and it tells me like it's the ego part of your brain getting in the way, like the mind, like something is in your head, being afraid, energy, because these things that you're learning are new and you're growing. And I have the Queen of Fire or the Queen of Wands. So it tells me um, energetic boundaries. So work on your energetic boundaries is what they're telling me because you have the power. Also tells me though, take your strength back. Be strong. Be strong in your convictions. Tells me you're going to overcome this and to stand strong. Be courageous. Is what they're telling me. And the Four of Cups or the Four of Water. So that tells me you've always been protected. You've had this gift since you were a kid. This is a nostalgia card. This tells me this is something that they've always been around you since you were little. That's what they're telling me. So you're growing. So these messages, the Four of Cups is also a message. Something's being delivered to you. So the Spirit is coming to you more because you're growing. And the King of, or the Knight of Earth. So it tells me hard work. It tells me you're okay, you're protected. Also tells me like your routine of yours. You have to make a routine of how you, whatever you're doing, you have to set your energetic boundary up with the routine that you do and be consistent with it. That's what they're telling me. And then I have the King of Fire. So it tells me you're going to overcome these obstacles. Okay. It tells me stand strong. Once again, take your strength back. Also be courageous. Tells me be a leader. God also tells me the King of Fire that God is watching over you and you're divinely protected. So don't be afraid. You're feeling different energies because your energy is expanding. That's what you're getting. But you need to call in, set up your energetic boundary, whatever it looks like for you, and call in just that beautiful light. Send away. You have that much power. Send away the energy if you feel it's uneasy, but you need to get out of your head. They're telling me because this is what's playing you. This is what's bothering you. It's trying to it's making you feel fearful. Something's in your mind right now is telling me doubt, fear, whatever this is telling me that this is what's getting in the way, and you shouldn't be afraid. So, hope they resonate with you, Carol, and thank you for the super chat. Do you see me having my life back this summer? Let's find out. Lauren. First card I pull is a renewal card. So renewal's coming, okay? So it tells me you're looking at things. You're always reevaluating. You're looking at things from a different perspective. It tells me, okay. So it tells me a favorable assessment is coming for you. Renewal, okay. So it tells me you're going to be moving in a new direction. So it tells me that this is definitely a good sign for your health. Then I have the Dreamer card, which is the Fool. So a new beginning, spontaneity again, trust in life. Tells me a new journey. Then I have the Ace of Pentacles. What I asked was, will Lauren start to see some improvement in her health and her life getting back into being healthy and beautiful again by the summer of 2023 on the calendar as we know it? And I got the Ace of Pentacles. Tells me abundance is coming, a gift is coming for you. You're manifesting it, and God and the divine will bring it to you with that Ace of Pentacles. That's a strong, tangible yes. Also tells me something, Lauren, too, that something you're going to be moving on. I don't know if there's something you're going to be doing with a home or something along like that. Something is going to be tangible. Something good is coming for you financially, and I feel like something new is also coming for you. Something tangible. I have the Magician card once again. So I have 3 major arcanas and an ace in this one pull, and that tells me the Magician card: be strong. You're taking action. Be confident, because they're telling me that you're not confident. I know you don't feel as well, but they're telling me you're manifesting this. You have all the tools already, and stand strong. You're taking action, and things are going to change. Okay, so be continuing to dream, manifest. They're telling me, because that's exactly what you're doing. And I have the 8 of Pentacles, or 8 of Earth. So tells me the 8 of Pentacles that this is going to work out in your favor. Tells me you're mastering things. Okay, tells me that the skill that you, or the things that you've been doing, this routines and working on it, and you're learning a lot about this illnesses and alternatives. Are saying this is going to pay off for you. This is something that they're saying is working. Then I have the 9 of Earth, 9 of Pentacles. So tells me the fruits of your labor are going to pay off. Fulfillment, sovereignty. So it tells me your body's going to be healed. The fruits of your labor, once again, you're going to be financially okay. It tells me that things are going to move along. You got to nurture yourself, release your fears. I know it's hard to, especially when we don't feel well, but you're manifesting this, and tells me with this pull that for sure. And I have the eight of cups, 8 of water, holding in my reading. So departing from something, moving on from something. Also tells me maybe fear of disappointment. You're not going to be disappointed. So keep manifesting this. You're moving on. This is a transition point for you, and all will be well. Okay. So it tells me big things are coming for you, Lauren. Just keep believing, keep doing the work, because it's paying off. Hope that resonated with you, and thank you for the super chat. I notice when I am angry, which doesn't happen often, I seem to manifest a whole lot faster. Like pew, 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 rapid fast. It is quite scary. Why do I manifest this fast when angry? That's a good question. Let's find out. One card jumped out of my deck, and I kind of was going to say that before I even started pulling. It is the Devil card. So it tells me like you manifest quicker because it's from a different energy place. But I'm going to pull more cards. That's the first thing I was going to say before I even got that card. It flew out of my deck with the Devil card. So it tells me that there's something attached to that. Tells me that it gives it energy, whatever this energy is that's around. So that's why you manifest quicker. So, but it's not from a good place. Just you manifest, no matter if it's good or bad, by just speaking it, thinking it. You create the energy. It's a matter of fact, it's already done. It just depends on how fast you do and how you manifest it based on the other energies that you associate with. But I was going to say, let me pull some more. So the first card that jumped out of me, and I always put it in my reading, was the Devil card. So, but I kind of already had that thought before I even started shuffling the cards. So something was telling me that right away. It's about to deal with energies. So yeah, then I have the 10 of Pentacles. So it does happen. You do manifest, very much so. I have the 2 of Swords. So it tells me that there's there's a lot of contemplation, or whatever this is that bothers. There's some type of stalemate or whatever was bothering you at the time that makes you upset. Decisions, something it tells me. Also tells me, though, with the 2 of Swords, avoidance. Maybe the Spirit's telling me to avoid that. That's what I feel like I'm getting for you, because I have the Empress card. So it tells me like you're very good at manifesting something, because it tells me to avoid that, because you may develop something. And I'm not saying it will be good. I'm just saying you're accomplished. Your energy is very, very strong. It's part of your evolution. I have the King of Pentacles, which comes back to manifesting tangible things. Tells me this is something that you're able to do. And the Magician card, able to manifest, very much so. Okay. King of Swords tells me that there could be some conflict up here is what I'm kind of getting, because I feel like maybe that's the difference, because you're angry is something that's going on in your mind, whatever the situation is. So it tells me when this is involved. The Emperor card. I feel like it's a control, You can control this. But I also feel, though, when it comes to this, the focus, they're telling me it's a focus to focus on your energy, because the Five of Swords comes out. So it tells me the focus can cause conflict. So if your focus is angry, then what it can do, it can cause issues. It may manifest quickly, but it doesn't mean that that energy it may manifest now. But I keep getting this could spin into something different as you move forward. I have the Three of Cups. So yeah, collaboration. So it depends on the energy that you're manifesting and you're collaborating with. That's what they're telling me. That's exactly what I got before I even pulled the card. So it tells me the Seven of Swords holding in my reading. So it tells me you can be deceived. So whatever energy you think you may manifest, it could be something that's very tricky or very deceptive. But you have the skill and all this ability, as I mentioned. It depends on your intention. So what it tells me with the Two of Swords, is Spirit wants you to avoid those types of manifestations, because there's energy that comes along with it. It may happen quickly, but that also is going to lead you to want to manifest from an angry place, which attracts more negative energy. So they're telling me it's a process, and the Devil card was the first one. That's right there. They're ready to attach onto you. They're ready to attach to it. So don't let it happen. Avoid this. Stay in the positive. Even when you're angry, don't manifest something while you're angry. Take a breath, take a step back, then manifest from a place of light and forgiveness. And that's a totally different energy outcome than what you may get results right away. But there's some deception that will happen later on. So something will not work out the way you think it will in the long term. So just tells me kind of watch what you're doing with that DHP, because I know you have the skill and the energy to be able to do it. So stay in the light, my brother. So hope that manifests with you, and hope that resonated with you. Thanks for the super chat. All right. Was Merlin of the light? If he was, will I be successful in having his actual work come to me like a magnet? Let's find out. Merlin the Wizard of the Light. Yes or no? First thing I'm going to do is see if Merlin was of the light, because I think that'll answer your second question. Five of Cups. No. Nope. Failures. He had a lot of failures. So it tells me there's a lot of grief and loss with Merlin. And I have another no. Four of Pentacles. So it's something that's being held on to. So I feel like they're controlling some. So whoever's holding on to this information or putting it out, it's to control a narrative, is what I'm getting. Yep, the Queen of Swords. So the truth about Merlin is being held back. Ace of Swords, but there's going to be breakthroughs with that coming forward in the future with Ace of Swords. And the Page of Wands. So it tells me this information is going to be released. Okay, it tells me this is going to be released. Okay, we're going to discover something about Merlin. And the Four of Wands. So it tells me the Four of Wands, like there's going to be some type of we're going to learn about it. So I feel like maybe a part of a community he was a part of, associated with, something along like that line is what I'm kind of getting, is we're going to kind of understand a little bit more in the future about who this person was. And the World card. So something is going to come out, okay? Something is going to come to completion. So it tells me like there's going to be I feel like things are going to be made whole. So whatever the situation has been held back and kind of messed around with, and these lies, things are going to be made whole again, is what I'm getting. And I have the Ace of Pentacles holding up my reading. So it tells me that he was able to manifest. He did exist. And it tells me he was able to manifest things, but it tells me that he was not as good as people made him to be. And I also feel like there's some dark around him. There's some dark around him. So what I would say when it comes to Merlin and all that, your second part of your question, I don't think that, just a suggestion based on what I'm seeing here in my cards, he did manifest. He was able to manifest, but it tells me he wasn't very good at it. And so I feel like this is something, and he also worked around with There's some things that are misled about him. There's also some things possibly that he was involved around. That was a lot of regrets and loss and fear. So maybe dark magic is what I'm kind of getting in the situation. So I feel like that's something to do with that. Is I keep getting that for him. So what I'm saying, DHP, is maybe you probably shouldn't call that energy in. That's what I feel very strongly. But you can do you. That's your free will. I hope that resonated with you, and thank you for the super chat. Do I have any past lives in Lemuria? Thank you, Lori. Wheel of Fortune. Yep, yep. Tells me something that happened. So there was a turning point. A karmic cycle was completed with you. So it tells me a change. Some type of change happened from there. It was destiny. Your destiny. I have the Four of Swords. So it tells me the Four of Swords, like maybe there was some type of renewal that happened. So maybe that you moved on, it was from type of renewal. And I feel like there was, you had to retreat. Something made you retreat from this originally, go away from. I have the Justice card. So it tells me the Justice card of cause, something caused that to happen. But it also tells me moving on, though, it was meant to happen. And it was something that was, it's to help bring balance for your life and your journey. Also tells me like this is it was fair. Whatever this happened when or justice took place, and it did happen how it was supposed to. I have the Six of Pentacles, so it tells me that you absolutely were there, and I feel like there was you were very wealthy in Lemuria, is what I'm kind of getting. But I also feel like you're very generous, and this is something came in that made you have to depart. I have the Emperor card, so some type of leader, something came in, and I feel like this is what the situation was. And I feel like maybe this Emperor or this leader is one that kind of pushed people out. And I feel like this was something that what happened. Rules. There was conflict. There was rules and conflicts with the Five of Swords. So there was a lot of conflict and obstacles, and it tells me a defeat to this Emperor or this person that came in had to win at all costs. And it was regarding three of cups. So it tells me that this was something like this involved the community, and a lot of families are telling me the defeat of these families. I have the Nine of Wands, so yeah, it tells me very battle, some type of gearing up or something. It tells me the tells me that this was a real test of faith was occurred at this situation. And then the Seven of Wands. So yeah, it was very challenging. There was some defense of the area. It tells me Five of Wands. So there was definitely fighting, rivalries. This was a rivalry, strife and tension. But it took the Strength card. So it tells me great strength took place, battle, courage. So it tells me Eight of Wands. So yeah, it was movement. So after that, it was moving on in new direction. And it tells me that there was some loss with the Nine of Swords there. So this was something that was very traumatic that happened. There was some loss. There was a lot of energy that was associated with this, and not in a good way. But tells me for sure you were part of Lemuria, and there was something that you had to leave because of a battle that happened. So, well, that resonated with you, Lori, and thank you for the super chat. How was July looking for me? Thank you for your time. Let's find out. What's July looking like? Just tell me for July. So in July, there's going to be some clarity, okay? So it tells me the King of Swords. There's going to be some clarity or some truth comes out. And I feel like with some type of betrayal, maybe Seven of Swords, or some type of deception that happened. I feel like there's going to be some truth and some clarity to some of the deception. I have the Queen of Wands, so it tells me like it's going to be a focus. I feel in July, maybe something that's coming. Also feels like this is um, it's whatever this is that's gonna require great strength and courage. I feel with the Queen of Wands, but independence I feel is coming. Something with independence, they're telling me. I have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups tells me some type of happiness, community, joy, maybe your family life. Maybe there's some improvement there, or some type of get together. They're telling me maybe in July is what I'm kind of feeling. I have the Strength card. So it tells me with that uh, that compassion is needed with this situation as we move forward. Tells me that there's also to remain strong. I keep getting remain strong. So tell me that this is you're going to overcome anything that's coming down that you may see or experience. Tells me that you have the strength inside to overcome them. I have the Eight of Wands. So once again, Eight of Wands tells me maybe some news, maybe some travel. I feel maybe in July for you. But I also feel like this is something that is things are picking up speed. So if you've had some delays or waiting on something, I feel like July, maybe you're going to receive some news in July. Nine of Wands. So tells me remain strong, remain courageous once again. Tells me this is something that you've had your faith tested multiple times, as I mentioned. And tells me this is something that you're almost there. So it tells me that you're gonna these things that you've had bumps in the road, you're overcoming them. You're telling me you're almost there. Seven of Wands, yeah. So it tells me once again you're very well protected. You're persevering. You'll persevere through things. And it also tells me that you're going to be able to maintain control beautifully, like you always have. Five of Wands. So if there's anything going on, maybe in your life or maybe up here, they're telling me you're going to overcome. That's temporary with the Five of Wands. Temporarily, you're going to overcome these obstacles pretty quickly. I have the Three of Swords, so it tells me maybe there's some heartbreak, some loss, some fears, some of these things that I feel for you in July. It tells me that there's something there, some hurt, something maybe from your past. I feel is maybe what this is. But the Wheel of Fortune tells me you're going to complete that cycle. You're going to close that loop. Tells me there's some ups and downs in your life. I keep getting that. Also tells me there's inevitable turning point for you for the better. And it tells me that this is something that this is your fate. Your fate is already moving forward. And it tells me with the Four of Cups, happy memories maybe when you were younger. You're going to find joy. I also feel something is going to be presented to you. As I mentioned, maybe some news or something is coming to you, I feel in July that will, I feel is going to bring you some joy and some happiness. So I hope that this resonated with you, Barbarella. Thank you for the super chat. How much energy does the mind waste when it's stuck on the feeling of desire? What does that energy do to the body in the long run? On the feeling of desire. Interesting. Let's find out. Which energy does the mind waste stuck feeling of desire? I got the Four of Cups, so I feel maybe about 40% of your energy is really wasted because I feel like there's a disconnect at that point because you're so stuck on something. You're disconnected from the rest of your energy because you're hyper focused because something is stuck there with that Four of Cups. That something is right there, it's in your direct path. I have the Two of Pentacles next, so it tells me maybe feeling out of balance. It tells me because you're adapting to something. You're out of balance is what I'm kind of getting, because I have the Five of Pentacles next. So it tells me fear or lack of mindset. It's the lack of mindset, and I feel like there's the lack of or fear of loss, lack of something. Could be maybe if your desire maybe not coming to fruition the way you thought, so on and so forth. So I feel it has something to do with not only your mental health, but also your energetically and physical health as well. I have the Page of Wands because what it does, you're very excited, you're very determined, but I also feel like um, it kind of holds you back in a way. I feel like it's like because you're so hyper focused, like things can't just kind of expand and grow is what they're telling me, and be free. Because I have the Temperance card, so it tells me like there's a purpose. So when you do this, there's a purpose to these things, and I feel like the purpose is to that people get focused. The divine intervenes. I feel so they kind of intervene in our decisions that we make, but I feel like they kind of help along too with the energy around. It tells me to remain so to bring balance, so you just don't stay focused on these things. And I feel like that also there's divine guidance. And I mentioned earlier from another reading that I pulled for you, DHP, same things, depends on your energy. Sometimes you'll attract dark things, and sometimes it'll be light depending on your energy. So that's what I kind of feel. The Temperance card tells me that you're divinely protected, and it kind of helps because I feel with the Four of Wands, I feel like the intervention of the divine kind of helps progress things along. It helps you to celebrate, to become joyous in your future, because you're able to overcome these things, and not saying like whatever you desire tells me celebration comes in the future by whatever this desire is. If it could be physical, if you want something tangible, doesn't mean whatever. I know what you're saying. So it tells me like this is the four. I get the four. I get tons of fours. So it tells me 40%. I'm getting 40%. So it tells me like it's reevaluate. They want you to reevaluate. So if you start to get these desires and you're hyper focused on these things, they're telling me that they help you steer your direction a little bit, and help you reevaluate things that are going on. Because I feel like that's something that they do to help you progress. And I feel like this is something that they it limits your energy. That's what they're telling me. But it tells me though that with the Six of Wands that in the long run, it's that the reason why these things happen the way they do, even if we desire them to, and there is intervention of the divine, because it's to help progress your journey with the Six of Wands, making progress. Tells me that it's people will start to, like yourself, maybe recognize these things more and more as they go forward. Also tells me though that your self confidence, so the more and more that you're able to control these things and work on these things, you take your power back. You're not hyper focused. Your energy is very in line and it's progressing beautifully. It tells me this is all part of the journey, and whatever that situation may look like for that desire, it depends on your intention. That's what it's telling me. And that if it's energy that keeps draining from you, or if it's something that is not of your highest interest, there is divine intervention. I see that, and I know that. So that just tells me don't limit yourself. That's what they're telling me. You limit yourself by staying focused on a specific desire. So they're telling me that. So about 40%. So hope that resonated with DHP, and thank you for the super chat. I was diagnosed with asthma in my mid 50s. I'm working with an intuitive healer, Mike the herb guy. Will I able to be healed of this? Okay, will I be able to be healed of this? Asthma. Mike the herb guy? I got the King of Wands, so it tells me overcoming challenges. You're focused. And I have the Ace of Pentacles next, so it tells me yes, you're manifesting this. Okay, it tells me prosperity, tells me abundance, healing. Tells me you're manifesting this. Nine of Pentacles, so it tells me the fruits of your labor are going to pay off. Tells me that you're going to be your rewards. You're going to be rewarded for your work. That's what it's telling me. Six of Swords. So I feel the traveling that you're doing, or you will travel in your future, or you're going to move on from this. So they're telling me. So it tells me that you're going to be departing moving out of troubled waters. So it tells me that maybe you're going to start to see a change here. I feel maybe within the next 6 months or so, you'll start to see some improvement. And the Page of Cups. So follow your heart. It also tells me a happy surprise is coming. You're intuitively being led to these things to help you. Three of Cups. So celebration, harmony, homecoming. So it tells me a group, a partnership. So the whatever this partnership is that you're working with is going to work out. So it tells me maybe you're learning, maybe you're part of a group or a community of people who maybe are going through this, or you're learning something from a group, is what I'm getting. There's going to be celebration and happiness. Then I have the Nine of Cups, contentment, the fruits of your labor. Tells me your wish will come true. And I have that very much so. And it tells me with the Seven of Pentacles holding up my reading that long-term success, okay? Tells me the seeds that will plant to keep working towards that. It tells me it's not going to be right away as you've expected, but it tells me you're going to have sustainable results for the future by keep working on it. It tells me you're making progress, and you will. I feel within the next 6 months you're going to start to see some improvement. Okay. Thank you, Lisa, for the super chat. Hope that resonated with you. Hi, Jason. Do you see me doing humanitarian projects when the dust settles? Looking for some direction if possible. Thanks for your integrity. Much love and light. Let's find out. Well, I have the Five of Swords first, so there's a conflict from the past, or it's going to continue on. And I have the Death card, so it tells me that's coming to an end. So some type of conflict has to come to an end, and something move forward. And I have the Two of Wands, so I feel there's going to be plans, or this has been planned. Also, you're going to be making plans, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of discoveries made regarding this, and I feel like they're making progress. I have the Hermit card for you, so it also tells me with the Hermit card that there's you're going to be contemplating a lot. We're going to have a lot of divine wisdom brought to us. I feel like there's a lot of soul searching that will be done after this kind of moves forward. So I feel like there's with the Seven of Cups, you're going to make a choice. There's going to be some choices you're going to make. You're going to find out things maybe aren't how we think they are now. In the future, they're going to look differently. So it tells me there's going to be an opportunity for you. Okay, you're going to have a choice to make. You're going to do it beautifully. But I have the Page of Wands. I feel whatever this is, you're going to do something with children. And I feel with the page, you're going to be inspired to help children, because I have the Three of Swords. So you're going to be inspired to help the children from the heartbreak and the loss that's gone on, and the sorrow that happens. So I feel that you're going to take a big part in that because of the Hierophant, all the institutions, all the people that were around you. I mean, not around you, but around that are taking part in this. A lot of these institutions, a lot of these sick people that are doing these things to these children. I feel like this is something that you're going to have a part to do with these children helping. And I have the Eight of Pentacles, so it tells me like being very diligent on this. This is something you're going to be passionate about. It tells me that this is you're going to learn some new skills moving forward, is what it's telling me. And I have the Two of Cups. So it's something I feel that you're gonna do some type of partnership or an agreement you're gonna make in the future. I also feel like this is something you agreed to do before you even came here. Is what I'm kind of getting a connection. I have the Knight of Wands, so you're gonna fight for this. Tells me you're gonna be inspired. You're gonna take action. Tells me things are gonna pick up speed. I feel you're a fighter and you're gonna be fearless when it comes to this. The Knight of Cups, you're gonna follow your heart. The Spirit says you're gonna know when it's time for you to know. Like I said, there's going to be some things that you're going to have some choices to make, but it tells me you're going to follow your heart and you're going to know exactly what to do. You're going to be someone's knight in shining armor. They're telling me moving forward. The Lovers card. So yeah, you're gonna bring love and harmony and balance. You're gonna really be something. Once again, partnership, agreement. I feel this is something that you're going to do in the future to help people's energies realign. I feel like there's going to be a big part for you. I have the Three of Pentacles, so a partnership, teamwork, building something, collaboration. This is something that you're going to be working in it with a team of. I feel like moving forward, and I feel like that's going to be a big part of what you're doing. So, hope that resonated with you, Linda. Thank you for the super chat. You are my sunshine. My 91-year-old most beautiful friend Gloria passed away in 2021. Does she have a message for me? Well, she had a good run. 91. She saw a lot of things in her day. I'm telling you. All right, let's find out, Gloria. Interesting. I also get the Four of Cups, so it tells me you're disconnected as well at times. So she's telling me like you contemplate a lot. You're always in your mind. She tells me you're a thinker. You constantly are reevaluating and you're contemplating things. And I have the Two of Pentacles again. So it tells me the Two of Pentacles that you have a lot on your plate. You're trying to juggle some things. So it tells me there's some decisions that you're weighing. It tells me that's what she's telling me. But I have the Knight of Swords. So it tells me that you're going to take action. So it tells me you're going to defend your beliefs. She said, be strong, be the fighter that you always have been. So she's like, you're going to be the thoughts are going to start to come quicker. You're going to be very fast thinker. Like she's always said, you've always thought on your feet. So she said you're going to defend. You're going to always defend what you always defended what you believed. Continue to do that. She said, don't be afraid. The Page of Swords, because she said you have a lot going on up here. So she tells me there's a lot of maybe some new ways of how you've been thinking. Maybe a lot of things have been coming to you. And I also feel like your mental energy has been affected recently. And I feel like maybe there's some she communicates with you. That's what she tells me. I communicate with her all the time with that Page of Swords. I have the Nine of Swords too. So it tells me there was maybe some nightmares, sleepless nights, anxieties, hopelessness. That's what she's telling me. Ten of Wands. So it tells me there's a lot of hard work and burden on your plate. She tells me you're a hard worker, but also tells me like this is something that's coming to completion. She said you have a lot on your plate. You need to kind of let it go. She's saying you're holding on to too much. Power card. So tells me some type of revelation. Tells me like things you need to let it go. But that's what the power cards tell me. Literally, just let it go. Let all these things go. Tells me there's an awakening happening. I feel like that will be a huge turning point for you. And I have the Ten of Cups after that. So it tells me divine love. Tells me that your wish will come true. Also tells me that she watches over you like a family member. Like she said, like a daughter. That's what she's telling me. So she says your love, the things that you're working towards, you're going to fulfill them beautifully. She said the legacy that you leave behind is great. She said you're divinely loved. Your dreams will come true. Ten of Pentacles, finances will be good. Tells me health, the legacy you have to leave behind will be beautiful, she said. So she says your long-term success for you, it's coming. You got to believe it. You got to let go of these things. She said, you've always been a hard worker. You got to let go of these things that you've been holding on to because that's what's slowing you down with that 10 of wands. Two of swords. So yeah, avoidance, maybe some decisions, maybe some contemplation a lot. I feel like this would difficult decisions that you've had to make in your that's what she's telling me have caused you to be a prisoner of your own mind with the eight of swords. So you hold yourself back, she says. You're imprisoning yourself in your own mind. She said, you're entrapping yourself. Don't let it go. No one's holding you back. Page of Pentacles. So it tells me that you're manifesting something. Once again, financial tells me she says you're working on yourself. She says, keep doing that. Keep doing that. You're learning about yourself. You're manifesting your future. You're going to have what you're manifesting. You just got to believe and let go of all the garbage, she said. Because I have the death card holding up my reading. So it tells me that there's a change coming. Okay. So a change is coming. A metamorphosis is coming. It tells me a new direction. Okay. So it tells me you have to end the old. And as I mentioned, that tower, you have to release these things. Once you end the old, the transformation into the new will be happening. She says, you're ready for it. She says, you need to let stuff go and stop doubting. That's what she's telling me. So I hope that resonated with you, are my sunshine, and thank you for the super chat. All right. In the movie Masters of the Universe, a special tune is played to open up a portal. Have people opened up portals by accident by playing tunes? Let's find out. It's accidental. Using music. Yes or no? Two of Cups is a yes card for me. So it tells me yes. Attraction. So some type of energy is attracted to that. I feel like maybe the energy of the music and the energy of your energy kind of combined. Two energies combined is what opens this up. I have the Empress card, so yeah, it tells me very much so. It's part of a growth of expansion is what it's telling me. Expansion. So it tells me like the fruits of your labor. Tells me that that's something that we have the skill inside of us to do that. King of Pentacles right after that. So it tells me once again manifestation. Tells me tangible things. Tells me something tangible does happen when it comes to this. And the Magician. So there you go. Tells me yes. Tells me that manifestation, with our between our skill and then the music. I feel like it amplifies kind of our energy is what opens this portal more than anything. And the Fool. So yeah, new beginning, new journey. So portal for a new journey. Exactly what happens. And I have the Eight of Cups holding in my reading. So departure, moving on. So it moves on. So I feel like this portal opens for energies to transfer, and they move along with this. So we can accidentally open up because we don't know how powerful we are. So I feel like this is something for sure that it's a combination. But our energy as the magician in this is what I feel is the biggest part of that. And I feel like the music just kind of helps our vibration maybe get to a certain point. Um, because we enjoy the song or whatever the situation, something clicks energetically that our energy even raises even higher. So I feel like that's something that happens with it, and I feel like that's the manifestation that comes from us. But that's just another tool that helps kind of align with that Two of Cups is what I'm kind of getting. So yeah, absolutely. Looks like that's a legitimate thing, man. So hope that resonated with you, DHP. And thank you for the super chat. Was the book A Lathe to Heaven used to activate the DNA of many people, specifically the parallel jumping type? A lathe to heaven. So I got the Empress first. That's the first one I get. So yeah, it tells me that that was a way of evolution, growing. Was an action that was taken, something that was done out of love. Believe it or not, that's what I'm kind of getting. And I have the King of Swords. So yeah, tells me it's there's some truth to that. So it's telling me. Also tells me mental clarity from the words that were written. I feel like there's something that they're mental, some type of mental focus is what they're telling me. And I have the Two of Wands, so it tells me traveling. So people travel. This is meant for traveling. And I feel like this is leaving home as part of it. It's great in expansive universe. I feel like with the world, that Two of Wands, the person's holding up the world. So I feel like this is a travel between even off world and all dimensions as well. And the Hermit card. So yeah, tells me this is uh, maneuver. This is something that's inside of you. So it tells me it's also divine in nature. So like tells me uh, divine intervention. Also tells me it's a gift of yours. It's higher self is involved. It tells me off world knowledge as well, and higher energies. This is something that's inside of you. And I feel like it just kind of activates it, as I mentioned. It illuminates it with the Hermit card. So this story or this book it illuminates that for people. And the Knight of Cups. So yeah, it was a creative way of doing it, and I feel like it was like to progress people along, to like you mentioned, just move them along with that situation. And the Emperor card. So yeah, so it tells me it was somebody who did it as a leader to kind of progress this situation, also for people that understand their power. It also tells me like this situation, it's a control. It's a way of controlling the situation to progress it along, is what I'm kind of getting. And authority, the high priestess. So yeah, divine knowledge is involved with this. Also tells me this is this is energy. I don't know who wrote this book. If it was but there's definitely divine knowledge in this for sure. And I feel like this book, there's wisdom, there's it activates the divine inside of you, is what I'm kind of getting. It does activate. And I have the Two of Swords because that's something in my reading. So something that's been deadlocked or maybe stopped or on pause or slow, that's what this does. It moves it along, is exactly what this book was meant to do. So it tells me for people who jump parallel, it tells me this is for traveling. So this is for sure what it was meant to do. So hope that resonated with DHP, and thank you for the super chat. Jason sending you light, love, and gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. You are my sunshine. Same to you. Same to you. Thank you, my friend. Hi, Jason. What does the future look like for the railroad industry, particularly Union Pacific? Let's find out. Hmm. So I got the Eight of Swords. So something is being held back. Okay, so it tells me maybe something's going to be in. People who running it are going to be imprisoned, is what I'm getting. And I feel like the Page of Pentacles next. So it tells me like there's going to be some type of they were in prison because of the whatever they did when it comes to the finances. Because I have the Hierophant, so it tells me moving. This is something to do with an institution. I ask about Union Pacific specifically, and it tells me like this was an organization. So I feel like there was some people put in prison because of things they did with money. And this is a huge organization. But I have after that they were imprisoned, I have the Ace of Cups. So things are going to start to flow in the future. Things are going to change. It's telling me. So something new is going to be proposed in the future. Then I have the Hermit card. So it tells me like there's going to be some type of I want to say something is going to be brought out, some type of wisdom or some type of communication. Something's going to be brought to light with that hermit card I'm feeling with that says that we're going to learn maybe that the railroad service wasn't meant or wasn't exactly what it was portrayed to be for. A lot of ways is what I feel like this was. A lot of it was more for shady things and money is what I'm getting. But I have the Lover's card, so it tells me that there's the choices that are going to be made in the future are going to bring harmony. So it tells me, oh, there's going to be something brought out. There's going to be some type of guidance. There's going to be some type of wisdom brought out, as I mentioned. And I feel like there's going to be strength for that in the future. It tells me there's going to something new and harmonious is coming in the future for people, or this going to be something renewed is going to happen. And I have the Temperance card, so it tells me like I feel like hope, balance. Tells me a good omen for if it's someone that works maybe in your family. I feel like there's not going to be any things are going to change, as you're telling me. And the Wheel of Fortune, exactly. So things are going to change. So it's inevitable. So it tells me the railroad will probably exist, but things are going to change moving forward with even how it looks like, how it operates, who operates it, so on and so forth. So I feel there's going to be alternatives moving forward. I'm going to just ask for the future in general. So it tells me that something is going to change. So maybe railroads aren't going to be a thing, but they're still going to be trained. I don't know. Maybe anti-gravity, fast trains, something along that line I feel will evolve into that is what I'm getting. It's inevitable. And the King of Cups. So it tells me like there's going to be some type of balance coming. There's going to be hope. It tells me a leader involved with the situation is going to be very supportive. So it's going to be a very supportive leader. It's going to be able to kind of progress this into the future. And the Page of Swords. So yeah, there's going to be new ideas brought up. We're going to think differently. So it tells me the Six of Pentacles holding up my whole reading tells me exchange. Something is going to be exchanged. So a gift to humanity. It tells me there's going to be something that's going to totally change how we do things and what this is about in the future. But it looks like right now that the people at the very top have been in prison already. I feel like we're gonna learn more of that as we go. But I feel that the railroad industry will change, and it won't be run the same as it does now. So, but I do get that. So I hope that resonated with you, and living, and thank you for the super chat. Viviana, let me see. You probably have a question. Hi, can you see if the dinar dong reevaluation will happen this year? Thank you for all you do. Well, I got some dong, some Vietnamese dong, and I also have some Zim, and I have some Venezuelan Bolivar. So we'll see. Let's hope so. 2023. Let's see. Viviana, dinar dong. First card I have is the Eight of Pentacles. So it's a yes card first. So it tells me this is something that's been worked on, okay? And it tells me like this is something to great skill. I keep getting that. I got that in my weekly pull. Whatever the situation is has been worked on. It took great skill and diligence to make this happen. Then I have the Four of Wands. That's another yes card for me. It tells me celebration, joy, moving forward, harmony. I have the King of Swords, so it tells me clarity will come with this situation that's been put off yet. Two of Wands, so yes, financial expansion tells me progress. Tells me this involves the world because the Two of Wands, as I mentioned, he's holding the globe. So it tells me there's been plans. There will progress towards things reevaluating, and I feel we're going to start making some progress, maybe within the next 2 months, maybe. we'll start to see things kind of really start to move along with the revaluation, I feel. And the Six of Wands. So, yes, making progress, as I mentioned, tells me public recognition. This is going to be brought out to the public. So it tells me to have confidence. Okay, we're already won. Things are playing out. When I mentioned in my 2 week poll for this one, it's tests of faith. We've had tests of faith. It's a constant test of faith because we want it to happen now. So this is just for people to either give up or keep pushing and believing. Either you believe it's here or you believe it's not. That's what God is saying. You got to have the faith because it's going to be recognized in the public. So it's that I feel maybe within the next 2 months, we'll see some progress for sure. And then the King of Wands. So it tells me, yes, tells me big picture, success, tells me some type of leader. This tells me overcoming these challenges that have happened before. This has been a focus of since the beginning. And big picture, this is for big picture. And you ask him this, and I have the Ace of Pentacles, so that's a financial thing, home run for me. So it tells me, yes, between the Eight of Pentacles and then the Ace of Pentacles on the other side, tells me this is something that's coming tangible. Manifestation tells me new, it's divine in nature, and it's going to be across the board. It's going to be the same. It tells me that things are going to be the same. And it tells me what the assets that you hold are going to be very abundant, is what I'm getting. The assets that I keep getting like this are very abundant. So Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles holding up my reading. So it tells me something generous is going to be brought to us. Wealth distribution, change in exchange is what I'm getting that will bring balance to the world. That's what I get the most of. So it tells me, yes, I feel we're going to start to see some progress maybe in the next 2 months towards the revaluation. So hope it resonated with you, Viviana. Thank you for the super chat. May I have a Gen 4 the next 3 months? I don't even know what Gen 4 is. Gen 4 what? Let's find out. I don't even know what Gen 4 is. We'll find out. May I have a Gen 4 the next 3 months? I have the Seven of Cups. So the first thing it tells me, maybe you're daydreaming, or this is something you've been trying to manifest. I have, and this is like I don't even know what you're referring to, the Gen 4, but it tells me next with the Ten of Pentacles that some type of success is coming for you. Okay, so it tells me long-term success, and I feel, but I do feel though the Two of Swords is maybe there's going to be some delays or something along that line for this to happen because I have the Emperor card next. So maybe this is a focus for you. It tells me that this is something that you will come to fruition with. But it tells me though that like I said, I don't even know what this really is, this Gen 4, but it tells me with the Six of Cups next is something that's going to come to you. So it tells me something's going to be proposed to you, brought to you. And I feel like it's going to be very happy, joyful for you. And I have the Justice card after that. So it tells me like this is something that will happen for you. It will play out for you. But it tells me though that maybe some choices that you're going to be making or choices you made in your past is what's kind of it's going to come to fruition for you. But tells me right now things are kind of in a deadlock or maybe a standstill. And I feel like this is something that it will come to fruition for you. You're going to overcome this with the Emperor card. So it tells me that this is clarity is also what I'm kind of getting out from something that you've been manifesting from the past. They're telling me. So I feel like there's going to be something once again, something's going to come to you that's going to be you're going to be happy and joyful about. And Justice card, so it's inevitable. Tells me this is something that needs to happen. The Empress card, holding in my reading, so abundance tells me this is maybe what needs to happen for you. Your wish will come true, and it tells me this is something that the fruits of your labor will come. things are evolving, they're moving along. Okay, so it tells me this is probably what's meant to happen for you. So things have maybe been delayed or things haven't been working out. I feel like that's going to change for you moving forward, and I feel like this is something that with the Justice card that's inevitable that will happen for you. So hopefully that resonated with you, Monique, and thank you for the super chat. What message does Spirit have for me? Thank you. All right. I got the Star card. So it tells me a good omen, some type of rejuvenation is coming for you. Okay. So it tells me, though, like this is a turning point. To balance is coming. Okay. It tells me remain hopeful and calm during the situation. Spiritually, you're growing. That's what it's telling me. I have the Hanged Man, so that tells me things maybe have been put on hold or maybe some type of standstill. But also tells me like to take a breath. Tells me you're learning things. Look at things from a different perspective. That's what they're telling me. Okay. Three of Pentacles. So you're working on something. You're building something. So tells me maybe you're seeing something from a different perspective. You're learning about yourself and you're actually building something. Okay, that's what it tells me. You're working on a foundation for yourself. And then the Fool card. So the Fool card tells me to trust in yourself. Tells me have that blind faith, that joy in life. Be spontaneous again. That's what they're telling me. This tells me like some type of adventure for you moving forward. I feel something that you're going to be moving along on. And I have the Seven of Pentacles, so tells me long-term success, as I mentioned. Tells me sustainable. Whatever you're doing, you're working on is going to be very sustainable for you. And it tells me that maybe the what you've done in your past and you're working on now will continue to be successful for you in your future. But it also tells me, though, to have the long-term view, like you're doing. Just kind of look at things from a different perspective and look at it from a long-term view. And I have the Magician card, so it tells me that you're able to manifest things easily. You have the skills, it tells me, but your confidence is what's lacking. So it tells me the actions you take, you have great skills, you have all the tools in your toolbox, you're telling me. And you have good inner power, inner strength. I have the Four of Cups, so it tells me even contemplating a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on, but also tells me you are a little disconnected as well, like a few others that I've seen with this card. I feel like there's some disconnection because maybe what you read and you think, maybe it doesn't aligning all the time with maybe you used to feel. So I feel like things are kind of out of alignment a little bit. So you're feeling a little disconnected. But it tells me you kind of going inside, taking that quiet time is what you need to do. And the Two of Pentacles. So yeah, you're out of balance a little bit. So maybe you're learning to adapt. They're telling me go inside, quiet your mind, and adapt to the situation. They're telling me you're going to become stronger for it. And the Page of Cups. So intuitive messages will flow to you. Okay, you're out of alignment right now, but once you kind of get things in alignment, you're telling me and kind of go inside a little bit more. You're going to start to open up your intuition, and you're going to start to receive messages from spirit even more than you have in your past. So it tells me that there's going to be some type of maybe even in your dreams. I feel your dreams will kind of expand. The Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands tells me your energy. So keep focusing on your energy. Be fearless. Tells me some type of adventures in your future. Tells me moving forward. This is part of your journey. You're making progress. Or telling me you're continue to fight for your beliefs. And then the Moon card comes out. So it tells me there's some fears. There's some doubts. Also tells me things are being brought to light. And to trust your intuition with the Moon card. As I mentioned, maybe when you sleep at night, things are going to grow for you. You're going to start to receive more intuitive messages as you move forward. But you got to let go of these fears. And the Strength card. Stay strong. They're telling me, love yourself. Be open to love. Loving yourself and receiving love. Also tells me to stand strong. You have great inner strength. Don't be afraid. You're very well protected, okay? So that's what it's telling me. Six of Wands holding in my reading. So it tells me you're making progress, or telling me your confidence. You need to grow and work on your confidence, but you are making progress, and they're acknowledging that. They're telling you that they acknowledge you all the time. I don't know if you understand the messages. Maybe a little. You see a time or numbers or smell or something. They communicate with you more. I feel like you're going to start picking up on that even more, even when you sleep. Is what I'm getting. They're going to start to expand, but once you have to let go of these things, go inside more, release all these doubts, these fears, these things that you may have questions about, let them go. They're saying because that's going to open your intuition even more, and spirit's going to just flow through you, and you're going to start to get these things pretty easily. So, hope they resonate with you, are my sunshine, and thank you for the super chat. You somewhat gave me a reading that sounded great. Has anything changed? Can you somewhat give me a timeline on when it's supposed to start happening? This was helping family and friends financially. I don't know. Let me see. I read for a lot of people, so let's find out, Edward. All right. Edward Faggy. So whatever you've been waiting on, I have the Nine of Wands. So it tells me you're gearing up for something, okay? It tells me this is, I also feel maybe pessimism about in your thoughts is what I'm kind of getting. But I have the Eight of Wands next, so it tells me there's going to be news coming to you. It's going to flow to you. Things are going to start picking up speed, is what I'm getting. I have the Nine of Pentacles, so I feel that's going to be the fruits of your labor are going to work out financially. I feel like you're going to have independence, financial independence, and you're going to be able to help people is what I'm getting. The Death card, so it tells me a change. Something has got to come to an end first when it comes to whatever this change needs to happen. I feel like this is a cycle. Once the cycle is completed here, moving forward, I feel like this is when this new news is going to come. And I have this Queen of Swords next, so there is going to be some truth coming out. So something's got to come out. If it's regarding finances, something's got to come to an end, and then there has to be truth coming out regarding this situation. I have the King of Wands, so it tells me your investments. Entrepreneur tells me you're gonna be very good at those at this manifestation that you put in place. Tells me that this was a focus of yours. Tells me maybe like a father figure of some sort or protective energy. I feel like this is something you're going to be able to do moving forward. And I have the Lovers card. It's because you're going to have harmony. You're going to have love. It also tells me you're going to be able to share. You're going to be able to help nurture. I feel like others around you with this situation. I have the Temperance card. So to answer your question specifically, I mean, it tells me that this is a good omen financially, spiritually. It also tells me Temperance card. It's going to happen in divine timing. I wish I could give you it's going to happen in 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months. I mean, literally, what I'm getting now that things are picking up speed. But it tells me that this was something that is going to happen for you. It's in divine timing with the Temperance card, and it's not going to happen a second before or after with the Temperance card. Because when I see that, it tells me it's coming. It's just when divine timing says it's coming, it's when it's going to be here. Like I said, something's got to come to an end first. Something's got to change. Some truths that have to be brought out regarding something when it comes to this finances for this to move forward. And the Eight of Swords tells me you're a prisoner of your own mind. Victim mentality being trapped. It also tells me there's going to be maybe some negative thoughts that you've had, is what I'm kind of getting. You're a prisoner of your own mind at times. Six of Swords. So maybe within the next, I'm guessing maybe could be next 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe 6 weeks or so, you'll start to see some progress. Okay. So within the next 6 weeks, I feel you're going to see some progress. Okay, I'm not going to say everything's going to come flowing in, but we're going to see some progress within the next 6 weeks. I feel is what we're going to see moving out of troubled waters. Transition. There's going to be a transition coming. Okay. So it tells me this transition has to happen before this abundance that you've been manifesting comes in to help people with. And the world card. So the world is transitioning at that point. Okay. So it tells me completion, accomplishment, tells me you're going to be made whole again. You're going to be able to help others. This is inevitable for you. So this is telling me to release the doubts in your mind. Things are going to come to fruition for you. Okay. So the judgment card is holding in my reading. So an awakening, a revaluation, something's going to be redeemed. And I feel like this is something that is happening for the world. It's going to be a wake up call, a calling, an awakening for the world. I feel like this is something that needs to happen prior to all these finances and all these other things coming out for everybody for abundance. So, hoping that resonated with you, Edward, and thank you for the super chat. As they say, energy flows where attention goes. What abilities does one awaken when practicing gazing? Like sun gazing, I'm guessing that you're talking about? Let's just see. Let's see. King of Pentacles. So it's something that's practical, okay? So it tells me maybe prosperity, energy exchange, abundance. I keep seeing energy flow. That's just love and abundance is what I'm getting. So also tells me though when you're able to you're focused, you're more practical. So I feel like there's energy downloads, tangible things is what you get. Exactly. So I have the Six of Pentacles next. So you receive, there's an exchange of energy. So it tells me you receive something very generous and very, very good and positive. Also, it flows to you. But I also feel when that person is gazing, maybe information is exchanged as well. It's all tied together, energy, healing. I feel like it's all encompassed in this exchange. It's very generous. That's what I get. And then I have the Two of Wands. So it tells me this is something progression, evolution. It helps you progress, helps you to grow. That's what they're telling me. Expansion. I have the Five of Pentacles. So it tells me, though, with the Five of Pentacles, like maybe it helps with ill health. I feel like the gazing opens up blockages, opens up things that maybe have been stagnant energy. I feel like that helps with the situation. So it helps with ill health. And I feel like this is something that and I have the Six of Cups. So yeah, it's an exchange. It's something that comes to you. Joy, happiness. It tells me an exchange of some sort. Something that's been around for a long time. That's what they're telling me. Something from way, way, way long time ago. And the Justice card tells me in a cause and effect. So it tells me like your energy that you project causes the reciprocation of the energy that you get even more. So it tells me like if you're putting out good energy, you want to be open and healed, and when you're just sitting there, just exchanging the energy is very vibrant and beautiful. You get it at even more generously, like you're getting that back. But also tells me if you're looking at it because from a place of fear, doubts, wanting to understand, so it tells me that the energy is lower. Also tells me like you are a huge part of this catalyst with the exchange. And I get the Justice card. So it tells me brings balance, and it tells me it brings clarity, and I feel like this is something from God, is what I'm getting in the Chariot. So yeah, exchange, change, move in a new direction, speeds things up for you is what I'm kind of getting, and it's beautiful victory. So whatever this is, it's very victorious. It helps you with your healing, helps you with your energy alignment. So this is very, very good when it comes to abilities. And like I said, the King of Pentacles, that's practicality. So this is something that you can put into practice as you move along. So this is something that you do absolutely develop something from gazing at, or I'm guessing you're talking about gazing either at the sun or whatever you're gazing at. So I'm looking at the sun when I'm pulling my reading. That's what I keep getting in my head. So I'm assuming that's what you're referring to. So hope that resonated with you, DHP, and thank you for the super chat. Super sticker. Thank you, Muse, for the super sticker. Much love, much love, much love. Ocean, I've been dealing with chest pain the last 10 days. Let me tell you, you're not alone, man. I don't get it. I haven't had it in a while, but mine's probably about 2 weeks ago with my last chest pain, give or take. But I get bad chest pains right here. It's right here, right in this area. And when I get it, and it radiates into my back, and I only get that when I'm around dark places, like Chicago or big cities, and there's a lot of dark energy around these places. I get it really heavily. Every time it feels like I'm being stabbed in the chest with knives, and then once I get out of the area, it goes away. So I feel you're feeling empathically. Just so you don't know, you're not alone with this. So it tells me like you're feeling things. You're feeling what I feel in your heart is you're some things you're letting go of. You're feeling the energy that you've held for others is what I feel that you're letting go of. You need to help heal that. And I know you're doing that. So it tells me that you're healing others through your heart. So continue to do that. It's not an easy job, but you're going to overcome it. I know you are. And Joe. Please, could I have a general reading, please? Thanks, Mary. Oh, thanks. I didn't know your name was Mary. I just see MJ. Okay, Mary, that helps even better. Absolutely. That's. Let me pull some cards, angel cards for you. Let's see what we get. So I got the Page of Fire. So something is coming. Okay. So it tells me that's Page of Wands. So it tells me freedom. Okay. It tells me excitement, new opportunity. It also tells me limitless potential for you. So I feel like your originality and you're very intuitive. So it tells me something along that line. I feel moving forward for you. I have the Five of Cups, so it tells me there's some fears, maybe things not turning out the way you would hope or expected, or telling me. It tells me there, but there's this is something that you will move past. Like I said, fives are temporary. Three of Earth or Three of Pentacles. So you're going to do something very creative moving forward. I feel like this is something you're. I figure. I don't know. I feel that you don't know. You don't. I feel like when it comes to creativity, I feel a lot. Not just you, but a lot of us. I feel that we don't know if we're good at anything. We haven't been very creative because we've been stuck and energetically in doing these things. But I feel like with yourself and others that this creative energy is going to start to flow. And I feel like that's something you're going to do with that Three of Pentacles. So you're going to collaborate. There's an opportunity coming for you, okay, in the future. I have the Four of Cups. So this is something I feel like an opportunity for you. Something is going to be presented to you in the future. But I also feel maybe with the Four of Cups, you're feeling a little disconnected as well. And I feel like this is something like you feel for what's going on in the world. I feel like this is something that you are very sympathetic of, and I feel like this is you've kind of stepped back and like whoa. So I feel like this is something that they're telling me that you've been contemplating a lot. And I have the Knight of Earth or the Knight of Pentacles, so tells me like it's a routine of yours. I feel like that's something that you get into this routine maybe about just being disconnected, maybe reevaluating a lot of things in your life. And I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, though, you're very hardworking. You honor your commitments, are telling me. So it tells me you're very truthful and hardworking. So they want you to, the Spirit's telling me, continue to do that. Develop a routine of and consistently stay with it. Working on yourself, learning about yourself, spirituality, whatever this is that you'll know what to do. They're telling me. The Chariot. So it tells me you're going to achieve something. Okay, it tells me victory. It tells me things are going to start to pick up speed for you, and I feel like maybe in your future there's going to be a trip. I feel like departing. You're going to be departing from something, or change is coming. Okay, and this is telling me that this is the Emperor card. So tells me with the Emperor card, overcoming challenges. Tells me you're very practical, and use logic to tell me use that smart mind of yours, and you're very logical. You put things into place the way you need to, and life experience. So it tells me with the life experience, like things are changing. Okay, so that's usually like a tower card for life experience. That's number 16. So I feel like this is a revelation of some sort. You're going to release some things. It tells me that there's some things you just need to let go of. You've been holding on to them. So it tells me there's going to be something brought to life for you. It's time for you to spread your wings, is what I get. And I have the 7 of Swords, or 7 of Air. So it tells me like there's more than something going on more than meets the eye. They're telling me. So it tells me that there's some plans that are going to be revised for you. There's been plans revised for just not yourself, but everything else has been going on. So it tells me you're going to make some revisions to your plans in your future. And the 3 of Fire, abundance is coming. Okay, expansion financially. It also tells me planning, progress. Tells me departure, so we're moving on again. So that I see a trip in your future for sure. You're going to start planning a trip. And the Page of Earth, or Page of Pentacles. So manifesting something. Okay, it tells me tangible finances, a new home, new job, something you're bringing. Also tells me you're going to start developing a skill, or working on yourself and learning skills. They're telling me this is something of abundance. And I also feel like you need to do something a little more challenging, is what they're telling me as well. Something that's going to challenge you in a good way, not in a bad way. It's going to frustrate you in a good way. You're going to learn. So I have the Ace of Swords. So victory is coming. Mental clarity is coming. Truth is coming. So it tells me like this is something like, if you had any doubts about some things or what you're waiting for, they're telling me, Mary, that this is all part of the experience and the faith, as we talked about before I started. And I feel like you're going to have the clarity. You're going to have the victory that you've been seeking. And then keep moving forward. Keep learning things. Become more sharp minded, is what they're saying. Challenge yourself. That's what I'm saying. Challenge yourself, but in a good way. So I hope that resonated with you, Mary, and thank you for the super chat. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Okay, cool. I'm at the bottom. Cool. Rock on, man. So, as I mentioned, that's this is a journey, even though it's not easy. And some of us have the journey at this point, particularly, is maybe a little rougher than others people at this point in this juncture. And that could be that maybe that some of these people or maybe some of the men and women who are going through these situations now, maybe a little harder than others. Maybe they had some rougher times in another portion of their life. So this is the whole up and down that we experience. So it tells me this is inevitable. All these things that are going on, this is stuff that needs to happen. So it tells me this journey is very, it's a difficult journey. And mastering yourself and mastering these things that you have to accomplish in each one of these lifetimes, it's something that is not an easy task, you know. For any of us or any of these energies, even angels and archangels and all that, they still have journeys they have to go on as well. Think about that. Think about that. You are infinite, just like God. You are infinite. You keep coming back. You are infinite. Think about that. You are an infinite being of light. Infinite. So that's a precious gift that God gave you. He gave you eternal life because he loved you that much when he created you. And think about all these questions that I've done for people. It's all about you're able to manifest. You're a creator like God. You're a creator. We can create life. We can create tangible things. We can make things. We can do all that with the resources that God had provided for us here. We're able to do something with them. We create. So think about that. What does dark do? Destroy. Can't create, it can destroy. You as the light can create. You can bring life into the world. Think about that. There's nothing more precious than that. You can create life. Whole another replica of yourself and your mate. So think about that. That's pretty amazing stuff. So this is a journey for, think about that. We all look at around us, right? But this is you live in your own universe. That's what people don't realize. We may see things similarly, like to the eye, because that's what we've been taught. But think about this. Your universe and what you see and perceive is your universe, no one else's. Think about that. I know it's a big thing to like, oh, whatever. That's a big concept. You create your universe. You create your universe. You create your universe. True story. Your universe is different than my universe. My universe is different than my wife's universe, so on and so forth. We may cross paths on timelines, but my universe is different than her universe. Think about that. Your universe is different. It's only yours. It's your journey. You may interact with others during this journey, but it's your journey. Always has been, always will be. And everything you do in this journey, because it's a long journey in multiple lives. Everything you do is for your progress. Even if you fall, or even if you need some, every time you come, there's always things to improve, because we are not God. We are not God. God is the only perfect. So we are working towards that. We're working towards that perfection. Coming back to God, our Father, the creator of all. We work towards that perfection and working towards it as part of our evolution, or part of our growth. And what the biggest thing that I keep getting from Spirit lately is just have the faith. People say, I have faith, I have faith, I have faith. And as I mentioned, I had my doubts at one time, not just in my own life for a certain little time. And literally Spirit told me, don't be a hypocrite. Like I mentioned in my previous shows. Don't be a hypocrite. You can't speak these things if you have these doubts at times, or you don't believe fully. How can you speak that to people or to men and women? So I do that. I'm like, you know what? I looked up. I'm like, I understand. I literally heard it loud and clear. So that just comes back to what we always focus on. Belief. Your thoughts are because you're the master of your own universe. That was a question. Masters of the universe. Why do you think they call it masters of the universe? Because you are the master of your universe. So it tells me, like, you have that power. He-Man, for example, right? He-Man, all he had to do was hold up his sword, right? And by the power of Grayskull, all that good stuff. I have the power. And what happens? His sword gets electrified from electricity, God, and all of a sudden he becomes a superhero because he believed. He believed. Same thing with his girlfriend She-Ra, as you mentioned. Same thing. We are He-Man and She-Ra. And we're the masters of the universe because we have to believe in what goes on. If we believe the world is going to be destroyed and World War III is happening and all these and the evil's won and all that, then that's exactly what would happen because we've already given up and say, oh, whatever, you've already won. I'm so weak. I'm so feeble. And so I just can't. You're so powerful and strong. So that's not what God made you. He made you perfect. We just forget that. We don't look at ourselves as perfect, but God made you perfect. We forget that. That's what it comes back to, looking into yourself in the mirror. Smile at yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself. That's a big thing. Loving yourself. Without self-love, you can't love others. You can pretend or put that smile on your face like they show on those stupid antidepressant commercials that they're trying to say, I put a smile on, and they have a little mask or a little stick thing with a smiley face cut out on it. Yeah, I'm smiling, but I'm really not. That comes back to belief. That comes back to being who you are. Smile at yourself. Don't look at yourself and say, you know what, man, look at those dark circles under my eyes. Oh man, look at them. Oh, I got another pimple on my face. Oh well, I got a bad hair day. Oh look, I put some weight on. Whatever this. Oh, this doesn't match. What are people going to think if I wear whatever? That comes back to not loving yourself, not being the master of your universe, and allowing others to dictate what your universe looks like, how it operates. Think about that. Your individual universe, even though we're tied energetically, you change your universe. You want your universe to look like a beautiful, abundant love, light, health for everyone. That's what your universe will look like. Your timeline will look like that if you continue to project that. Project it like it's already done. Project it like it's already done. And it's victorious. You've seen the results. The belief. That belief is what takes it to another level. Thinking something creates energy in the universe. Speaking something creates energy in the universe. Doing something creates energy in the universe. So use that beautiful gift that God gave you to create. You're creating by just the thought. You're creating. A word creates. An action creates. Think about that. Use that skill and that divine gift that God gave you to create a new life for yourself. Create a new life for others. Create an abundant timeline for the world. Create a universe filled with love and light, and darkness has been defeated. And we have peace. And we have we've seen the results of the convictions, and we've seen these things like it's already done. We've already experienced. That's what I'm getting at. Use that power to change your universe how you want it to be. That's how strong you are. We forget that because everything around us tells us we're weak. We are inconsequential. We're blips on the radar. We're nothing except what somebody tells us we are. That's been programmed. That's what I mentioned at the beginning of my show. Think about that. How many people, how much money and how many resources that were needed for thousands and thousands of years to continue to dumb us down, continue to keep us down. Because we're rising, even though that the dark, think about that. You're still rising. Look where we are now. We're still rising. And they worked overtime to try to keep us down, poisoning us in every direction. Our clothes, the food, the air, the water. I mean, literally the stuff we put on our skin. Just everything. We're getting poisoned and dumbed down the whole time. And guess what? They still lost. That's the funny part. Here's the funny thing. I saw this. Okay, so there's this commercial on TV, and it was called like The Pope's Exorcist or something like that, some stupid movie. The first time I saw it, I started cracking up like I just couldn't hold it back. When I saw the previews of that movie, I started laughing. When I was younger, or when I even like, some time ago, a couple of years ago, even I was a horror movie buff. I used to love them. And I looked at them differently. I'm like, oh man, I looked at it like I'd be invested. Like, oh man, I knew that the good would win, but I always knew, okay, wow, that they have so much power, and we have to fight good. Even thinking about it now, just watching that stupid clip about that, and I started cracking up like uncontrollably the first time I saw it, because I looked at that thing, and I'm like, this clown, look at this clown. Talking about darkness and demons and all that. They have no power. They're worthless. They're, and I'm saying that with love, but it's true. They have no power. They have nothing. They're nothing. It's like the devil. The devil has no power unless you give them power. It's free will. The darkness has no power unless you give it to them. I saw that same clip again today before the show, and I started laughing. As soon as I saw it, I started laughing uncontrollably. Like when the kid's eyes changed and all that. Oh, that's how comical I think that the dark is. I mean, that's how comical they are. They have no power unless you give them power. Same thing with people. Okay, that's another thing, like these Satanists and all these other things. Think about it. They have to conjure these things, right? They have to bring them with their power that God gave them. They're making a choice. They have to use their power to bring this energy forward. Think about that. Think about that, because they don't have the power and the energy that we have. That's why they search for it. Somebody was afraid earlier about, oh, I'm not afraid of spirit. All of a sudden, I'm getting a little. That's because you're up here. You're up here. If you project protection to God and around you, and that's it. Your energy sends that thing away. That's how strong you are. People don't realize that. Well, how to get rid of this, and how do I get rid of that? You do it by your intention, not being aggressive, not being a fighter and arguing. That's what people think. That's what you need to do. Be aggressive towards that. No. You don't. You send it away. Because the last thing you want to be is combative, angry, upset, fearful. Those are all emotions the dark feeds on. But if you raise your energy up, send it away with love. You're protected by God. I promise you, God is in your corner. He's everywhere. God is everywhere. God is everywhere. Just like your angels are everywhere. I've been seeing so many lights lately. I don't know if you guys have been seeing these things. But I told you I've seen lights before. But lately, like I'm seeing lights outside. I'm like, what was that? I'm seeing lights in my house, everywhere. Just like, it's pretty crazy. They're beautiful white lights. It's amazing. So I wish you guys would see some of these things that I've seen. And I'm not the only one seeing. My wife sees them too. So it's something that it's the energy that you bring. Like we mentioned in multiple shows, the energy we put out is the energy we receive. Comes back to even DHP's questions about things, desires. And yeah, we have that strength. But you also got to realize is your energy that you put out, if you have good intention, good energy, there's also when you even put good intentions out, there's energies around that want to try to hang out and leech. But that's why you send it away. Protect yourself. Recall all your energy every day. I don't think a lot of you do that. You recall your energy every day, multiple times a day if you have to, and send energy that you've taken or was given to you. Send it away with love and healing and forgiveness. And you take yours back with love, light, and healing and forgiveness. That's your intention. That's like it keeps coming back, routine. I feel like people need to be more like a routine, develop these things, work on their energetic boundaries, work on their self. Because if you don't have confidence in yourself, or false confidence is what I'm getting. There's false confidence in some. And it comes back to belief. Change your universe the way you want it to be changed. That's how powerful you are. Think about that. I hope that's the biggest message that Spirit is telling me. You are magical. God created you perfectly. God says, I'm going to give you the ability to create your universe how you want it by your choices. That's how beautiful God was when he created you. And only you. There's only one of you in this world that he created. Doesn't mean that there's more of us, maybe clones, and who knows? There probably are. So, but my point is that only God made one of you. Only one. So I want you guys to realize once again, I won't be here on Thursday or next Monday for my show because I'm going out of town. I'll be back the following Thursday, which would be, let me look at my calendar here. This is a newcomer. So let me see here. So I'll be back the 30th of March is my next show. So, but so yeah, I'll be out of town learning some new things. There's some things after this seminar or this. I'm going to be traveling. I might be traveling more throughout the country moving forward with this. But there's some big things coming down the horn that I feel for not only just everything, but also there's some good things coming for people to take their power back. You know, that's the one thing that I feel like we don't realize enough how strong and powerful we are. Is standing up for what we believe in a smart, sensible way, not doing dumb things like people want us to do and get us in trouble. And no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about taking your power back, saying I'm claiming that back, pulling yourself out of Babylon. That's a true story. So becoming a sovereign man or woman like God created you to be under God's law, not under the government's law and under the corporation's law, under God's law, which is the supreme. Because even the justice and all the stuff that's been put in place, all these trusts, everything is to do with from God originally. Everything is derived from that. Even the stuff that the dark does, they're just twisting all of God's things and trying to make it for themselves. But the good thing is that comes to an end. That came to an end. They had a good run. So what I'm saying is, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. The shit that you see on TV is just this. Flippity flappity smackety to get you to be like, oh my God, this is going to happen. And then people around you be like, oh my God, this was going, did you read this? Did you see this? Did you read that? It's all to get you distracted, all to get you unfocused, all to start to get your energy worried around you because the people around you are going to freak the F out sometimes. Maybe some of the stuff they were going to see moving forward. Telling you, wait till people wake up and find out that their 401ks are nothing, that their retirement accounts are garbage or gone because somebody pushed a button. All the money in the bank is gone because I feel that's where it's coming. I never looked at cards or anything, but I feel I've been saying this now for the last week or so. I feel like this is the start of it, but I feel like there's going to be some type of cyber attack that I feel is going to wipe out everything to do with finances. One swipe. It's going to cause so much chaos with the financial system and the loss of money, and no one's going to know where it went because it's going to just numbers on a computer screen is what it is now. That's literally what our money is that. And once it's gone, guess what? One of the authorizations of the military under the law of war and all that and their manuals is that they are able to step in only in time of civil unrest, or if the finance or the corporation is bankrupt and they are dissolved. So that gives the military an opportunity to step in because the financial system is done. It's crashed. There's chaos that comes from that. There's all these things. That's why they can step in. So I feel like that's the perfect way. Nothing to do with Trump. Nothing to do with Trump. And I feel like that, or at least the optics of it won't be. It'll be based on the finances and people pissed that they don't have a 401k or retirement plan anymore. They're upset going to the banks. The banks have no money, or the banks are closed because everything is closed. Think about that. That's a cold bucket of water. That's the ice bucket challenge, or whatever you want to call it. That's what that is. But that's for the normies. That's for the people who are asleep, totally asleep, and don't care to wake up. Call us every name in the book. Oh, you're a Trump tard or a Q tard or whatever they call them, other people that cause discord and to cause strife and anger and make you doubt what's going on. But the fact that ISO 2022 for some of you people, that kicked off yesterday. So it tells me that banks have to be in compliance with Basel 3 and come to be Basel 4 and ISO 2022. I mean, that's big things. That tells me that if you're not in compliance, guess what? You won't exist. So that's why I feel also at this time that you're seeing a lot of these smaller banks being gobbled up by the big banks. Here's the trickle effect. And this is what I'm just feeling on my own. I'm just feeling it. Trickle effect. Trickle effect is these smaller banks are getting gobbled up like they always do by these big banks to cover losses, blah, 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 all made up Fugazi bullshit that they make up and say, this is what's going on. Oh my God. The Federal Reserve has been done. That's been absorbed into the Treasury already. So the Federal Reserve is not able to print money anymore. So I also feel like the trickle effect that you're seeing now, these smaller banks are going to be gobbled up by the bigger banks. That's less banks they have to go after in the public. So what's happened, they're consolidating. These big banks are saying, well, we don't have any money either. We're going to start pulling the money from all these smaller banks. So what they're doing is it's like a break in the dam, and they're plugging it with their fingers, and they're out of fingers now. It keeps pouring out. So now what they're doing is trying to pick up the pieces. So what do? Create a distraction. What bigger distraction to create? Arrest Trump for some bullshit. And we have a criminal literally that they're putting on TV. Well, what's the wrong with that picture if you're just a normie? The fact that a sitting president literally is sitting resident, it doesn't matter. They're all selected anyway, and they're all part of the corporation. So it tells me a sitting president of the corporation, you're telling me that person, I mean, he's a criminal, straight up. They can put it out on TV, doesn't mean anything. But yet one person starts saying something about another person online or on TV, and all of a sudden it's truth because somebody made up some bullshit. Come on, man. So, I mean, think about that. Look at Melania Trump and look at that Stormy Daniels. And you honestly think that, I mean, if you were a normal man, would you want to go out and have intercourse with somebody who's been plowed like for a living for I don't know how many years? Think about that. And she's ugly as shit. So, I mean, think about that. Come on, man. If you're going to find somebody to get caught up in a bullshit story, narrative, whatever, at least find somebody more attractive. That's what I'm getting at. That's my point. If you're a billionaire and you know that whatever you do is going to be scrutinized, especially you know this, come on. I know Trump's not stupid. He's not that stupid. Come on. So they're just making shit up, man. Just to distract you. Just to distract the people who you may not follow the awakening or whatever you want to call it. They just might like Trump because he's done good things for them. You never know. They might watch Fox News every day and are gung-ho. Guess what? Those people are going to be shaken awake too. And we don't even know, not even a tiny sliver of what's been going on really in real life. We don't know. It's whatever someone's told us is what's been going on. So that's why we're using this against them. This is a powerful tool. These platforms are powerful. This is the old pubs. We're getting together in the pubs and we're talking, we're conversing, we're learning, we're growing, we're putting plans together in order to change this timeline. That's exactly right. So we're using this tool against them. So what I was getting back is, so it's easier. It'll be easier. So if the resources are pooled into specific big banks and less of these smaller banks even exist, guess what? That's even easier to hack or cyber someone. Think about it. And they're going to blame that on Russia for sure. They've been talking about Russia this, Russia that for 4 years now, or whatever the hell, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. It's been ridiculous. So, and it tells me when it comes down to, they're going to be the perfect scapegoat. Perfect. Oh, it's Russia. They must have done it. Guess what? It's probably our own military doing that purposely. Because it has to crash. Somebody has to be the scapegoat or look at. So then what it does is change the narrative. Guess what? We have unrest here with a potential. That's actually kind of makes some sense now. There would be unrest here like there is in other countries. And then now we have a potential world war because of something that is made up and all this other stuff. So guess what? There's unrest at home, unrest internationally or in the world. Think about that. So then the military has to make a decision, right? Are we going to go to war and leave craziness at home? Or are we going to help at home and then see what happens in the big picture? That's where I feel the negotiation will happen with Mr. T. He'll come in, ease the tension of the world, and the military will handle things here. And it's not the same we're going to be out protesting. They want us at home to go running after the criminals who are going to run like cockroaches. That's why they don't want us on the street, to hinder the mission. It's to when this happens, their people are going to be running and trying to take off and try to find every avenue they can. Why do you think they're destroying the tunnels underneath first? That's one less thing that they can deal with. Is once that's underneath, those tunnels are smashed, that leaves you on the surface or in the air or on the water. Bam. You can't hide when you're out in the open. When you're underneath, you can try to hide. That's what they're doing. That's what moles do. That's what nasty creatures that are just disgusting that stay under the ground. I'm not saying that nature that underneath the ground there's a purpose for that. They're beautiful, but I'm saying nasty things that there's a reason why that they're below the ground. So I feel like this is just the dominoes. It's happening. You can see it in front of you. Okay, you can see it, and this actually pushes along the perspective of this digital CBDC or central bank digital coin. Guess what? That's going to flop quickly. That's going to flop quickly. That ain't going to make it to fruition, guaranteed. So they're pushing this out really fast. They're going to have to push all this stuff out way faster than they wanted to. They're expending so much energy, expending so much the money that they have left. They're bleeding this. This is like bleeding. They're bleeding right now. This has been a mortal wound that they can't stop. It's bleeding. They're going to bleed out is what they're doing. So, and actually, I feel like that's a very, very good thing of how I see it. And it's just kind of my perspective on it. So if there's going to be a shaking moment, I'm telling you, you're going to see it. And what I want for all of you, when you start to see this, it's not that I told you moment. That's Spirit's telling me you can't have that mentality. The mentality is to nurture. You have to nurture the people that are going to be like, what is going on? Think about it. You're going to have to nurture. So you're going through these heartaches. Once again, you're gearing up for something. It's that Nine of Wands. You're gearing up for something. You're having tests of faith for this reason. So you can help people and nurture them when it's time. That's why you were pulled out of the pit. And so you can reach back in and pull others out of the pit. Think about that. Believe it or not, you were chosen. You were chosen to be pulled out of the pit. So that's why I want you guys to go to bed tonight with peace in your heart, love in your heart, peace in your mind. And that's the hardest place to have peace is up here. But this starts here. You have to have peace here. You have to let these things go. Once you do that, pull your spirit into your mind, into your body alignment, and all will be well. Your manifestation at that point will be tenfold. You'll be so beautiful, so energetic. You're going to be, as far as the energy you exchange is going to be so strong. That magician, you're going to be the magician. You're going to manifest things because you're in alignment. When you're out of alignment, you manifest things, but they may not manifest the way you fully like them, or you may not manifest in a time that's reasonable. That's what it comes because you're out of alignment. You're not ready for it, they're saying. You're not ready for this yet. Even though you manifest it by your action or your thought or your words, because you put that energy into the universe, it stays there. And either you reach up and grab it with your energy and pull it into your reality, or you just leave it there. But it's created, waiting for you to grab it later in life or whatever the situation is. So your energy is never exchanged in vain. We just have to change the thought and the projection that we put out. That's the power. Starts inside. So remember, recall your energy all the time, every day. All will be well. Okay? So stay in the light. Stay in the light, even when it's hard. As I mentioned when I first started my postings, be the light in the darkness. Don't be afraid. Everything we've been taught is to be afraid. Afraid of expansion, afraid of new things, afraid of this, afraid of growing, afraid of new experiences. Even though we want them, we're made that way to be that way. We're afraid of them at times because we're afraid of the outcome of what happens, what could happen. That's this up here that gets in the way because we've been programmed that way. We have preconceived or our thought process is just already been implanted. Our reactions are just literally, we have a reaction to, we see something, we react to it, how we've been taught to react to it. It's a learned process. We have to unlearn these things. We have to learn and unlearn that and bring something new into your energy. That's beautiful. That's your knowledge is growing. That's that seed. We're growing now. We're above the ground now. We're starting to grow and be strong. We're going to bloom into something beautiful. So starts inside, bloom from the inside out, and all will be well. So sending you guys all beautiful light and love and protection. Once again, I thank you guys for your continued support. You guys are what makes this go for me. And I hope that these readings that you guys who did get some readings today, I hope that it resonated with you. And I hope that the message at the end of this has resonated with a lot of you who may listen while you're not watching the video, maybe listening, cleaning, doing whatever, driving in your car. But I just really support you all, as well as appreciate all of you very much. So I will see you guys next Thursday. Once again, I won't be here this Thursday or this next coming Monday, but I will be back on the show for next Thursday. So love you guys. Stand strong. Stand in your truth. You are the master of your own universe. Believe that and it will be. You've already won. Bring it into your, reach up and grab it out of the universe and from God and bring it into your reality, your abundance, your love, your health, all these things, because you have that, you're magical. God made you that way. Believe and it will be. Love you all. Soldier of light, out.